So yeah, I was supposed to have a podcast today, but then my guests came on and they were speaking and I couldn't hear them speak. But through the software, it was showing the little meter going up and down saying that they were speaking, but I couldn't hear anything. And I really feel like that what they had to say was important. And now I'm bummed. But anyway, that's what that's how things go. So I guess I'll just freestyle something here. After the episode with my brother the other day, Elisha, you can find it on YouTube under the title, A Conversation with My Lost Brother. Our other brother, who was also adopted with Elisha, named Luke, heard the podcast and heard the episode with Elisha and I. And he reached out. And he reached out to Elisha and he was asking Elisha to give him, or telling Elisha to give him my number and that he wanted to talk. And ever since that podcast has been released, I've been talking to my other brother, Luke, which is really cool. Luke is a lot like I am in a sense of wanting to know the answers to things and feeling like that we've been cheated out of a lot of things. However, there's a reason that everything happens the way that it does. And so we're just at a point to where we're just grateful that we finally get to know and meet one another in this life and in this reality. Had a lot of different interesting guests come on and share their perspective and their hope and their why. And I've also been on another individual's podcast sharing my perspective and my hope and my why. And I'm coming to the realization that everything's had to happen to me in order to feel the way that I do today, including the worst parts of what have happened to me. The trauma, the emotional disconnect, the gaslighting, the trauma that I inflicted onto humans. It all had to happen in order for me to even be at a point of having the people that I do in my life today. And so I become really grateful for the times that I've attributed to being probably the most fucked up parts of the story. And as crazy as that sounds, then I can find peace in the worst parts of what have happened to me and understand that to even have the spiritual connection that I do with the Creator and be able to manifest the reality that I have, all of it had to have happened by design in the exact same fashion, in the exact fashion that it did. And even to the point of understanding the consequences of what had happened to the other human that perpetrated me while being in this reality. I say that nothing in this life happens by mistake. Because of the spiritual journey that I'll walk today, I fear nothing in this life except an irrational human with a mental health problem that doesn't understand that the place that I'm coming from is a place of love and understanding, and them thinking that I'm a hostile human or a judgmental human and I'm just trying to hurt them. But I fear nothing in this reality because of the connection, the deep divine connection that I do have with who I identify as the creator. And a lot of people start to draw themselves away from me when I speak on my connection with the creator, because a lot of people feel like that there's only one way and their way is the way. And so having somebody that has a different set of principles, or not even principles, but a set of different beliefs, is easily made to where, we can draw a line of differences. In my reality, with my connection with the creator created everything in the first place. He created Jesus, who carried the Christ consciousness. He created Buddha. He created Muhammad. He also created evil, because there's a balance. And no one wants to talk about that balance that also would have had to been created by the creator. And so once the balance happens, there's an experience that happens on that line of balance, good and evil. And a lot of times the evil can take hold and things play out in a way to where evil wins. But then at the same time, we can really channel that secret ingredient that that good carries, which is unconditional love. And then we can understand that everybody can be right and everybody can have a truth, and everybody doesn't have to walk in fear or negativity or evil and still believe in what their truth to be. The moment we start to feel a fearful type of sense, the moment we start to write somebody off and create a negative opinion about them. And that's dangerous, especially when the opposite could be a channel of love and a channel of understanding and a channel of compassion and empathy. It's weird that I am who I am today, considering how dark I had manifested my reality from coming from a place of anger and hate for so long, that there's also people that walk this earth that feel that, you know, I'm invalidated and I'm a monster and I should get everything that I deserve, in the sense of whatever pain that may be or that may bring. And I guess I all I can do is try to show people through my actions that I've lived a karma and I've lived an experience to where I'm extremely regretful for how I've made others feel and how I've treated other humans, all because of my own self-seeking motives and insecurities and undealt trauma. Only way that I truly feel like that we can create a balance of being better and growing from that experience is through our actions. And so I try to let my actions and my intentions and my motives today be a sort of living amends to the people that do feel a certain type of way. The more that they feel a negative feeling towards me, the more that I want to put out that energy of compassion and empathy, because it's very easy to fall in the trap of feeling insecure of somebody else's opinion or feeling, and then letting that negative energy seep into your own life and let it start to manifest its own little tricks and trips, where you might find yourself being in a reality that they always had seen you in the first place. So unconditional love always holds me accountable to where I am coming from, of a place of consciousness instead of a reactionatory place of emotion. which is important to me because I can be very quick to my anger and very quick to be temperamental, especially if I feel like that I've been disrespected in a sense, or that somebody is knowingly just coming out of their way to gaslight and manipulate and use a type of psychology on me to make me feel inferior whenever I just want to be left alone and really just try to find light and find more answers to the way that I feel today. And so if it doesn't pertain to the concept of unconditional love, then I don't want it, so why even bother with me in the first place? I'll leave you alone if you'd leave me alone. Straight up. I want to have conversations with people that might not agree with me. They have to understand that you come here and you have a conversation with me. Thoughts and ideas have to be challenged from both ends, but you have to hear me speak because this is the platform that I created in order for me to seek my truth. And so if you choose to be on that, then I'm going to help you see my perspective in a way that might empower you, and sometimes that might be uncomfortable. But we have to get to a place of unconditioned accountability as well in order to find that unconditional love, because we have to love ourselves first and foremost before we can understand the love that we have for anything else. But all I'm saying is the reason that I do what I do today and have this podcast and have this platform is because I want to show the world that I had an experience with something that was greater than this, and that experience was extremely real, and what it showed me was that we have to be in unconditional love at all times, and we have to be authentic with ourselves. And in order to even explore that, we have to become uncomfortable in the things that we fear the most. But we've made it this far anyway, so we're going to be okay if we explore those things. We're only going to get better. We do want to get better, though. So why not take the steps to get better? That's what this platform was for. I was given that vision of having this truth set into my soul. And the vision was that I could share this and help people get past the things that they've been troubled with the most and deal with their trauma and deal with the fear of what happens beyond this life and the fear of losing faith and the fear of not having a real spiritual connection with something greater than this. Hold the collective consciousness accountable for where it's at, or the state of it, of where it's at in this reality, so we could get back to a place of love and unconditional love to where we live in harmony and we can do more and be so much more beyond this life. An infinite type of love. I don't have all the answers, but I think the answer that I have right now could be a solid foundation for having conversation and understanding why we need to love one another and why we need to get back to that, because we can see the opposite of what's happening when we talk in the sense of love and where that real negative energy of hatred comes from. It's very apparent of what that is in the world today. But do we continue to let that be? Or can we at least just identify what that is? And some of us try to do the opposite of that and give our brothers a bottle of water and maybe a hug and maybe a place to sleep and tell them that you love them and just show them some real deep emotional connection by just having a conversation with them. And that's what this platform was for, and this was what that vision was about, and that's what the Creator showed me was unconditional love. But like I said earlier, there's balance. And so when I had that experience, I also was shown dread and disconnect. And the way that it showed me was that through the things that I had not dealt with in my life and the things that I have done in this life, that if I kept living in that anger and resentment and that pattern of living, I was going to forever not be able to have a real emotional connection with my son. And that's the person that I love the most on this planet. And that feared me. That scared the shit out of me. It made me feel dread, and it made me want to do the opposite. And so when I made that conscious decision during that experience, which took the breath out of me, I made the decision that I wanted to live in love. And since then, crazy things have happened, synchronicities have happened, conversations have happened with people. I try to live this life of authenticity and pureness and integrity and uncomfortability just to test my limits. But I want to talk to people that also want to test their limits and also seek an ambition for abundance. Because the only way that we're going to have an abundance of love is if we have an ambition to seek change. And it starts right here. So with that, I hope everybody has a good day. And I hope that you can get something from this. Stay safe. Get something out of this. If not, then just keep scrolling, man, because then you're not ready and the message isn't for you. If you're ready, let's go deeper. It's that simple. Peace out.